So the official Pokemon account tweeted that Karen speech the other day. You know the one. And I happened to see this, even though I'm not on Twitter all that much anymore. And if you watch the channel, you might know my actual opinion of that speech, which is, I don't know why people are so polarized on it. It's not the end-all be-all, and it's also not incorrect. It is a statement of one of many valid ways to play Pokemon. But we're going to give that way a little bit of a try here, inspired by that tweet. So I've gone ahead and brought my favorite Pokemon to the Reg G ladder, Gengar. And for good measure, I've decided to pair it with my favorite restricted Pokemon. If you've watched the channel, you probably saw this coming. But part of the origin of this idea is it's honestly really hard to think of a niche for Gengar in this format. I can't think of much reason I would put it on a serious team, if I'm being honest, which is pretty unfortunate when it's my favorite Pokemon. But there are kind of two things I could see myself doing with Gengar. One is run it on like a status spam team with a bunch of Thunder Waves or something, and try to get off strong hexes, although again, I could do that with Shadow Rider Calyrex and it would be stronger. Or, alternatively, part of what I love about Gengar in the first place, something that really stood out to me about it when I was just getting into competitive play in Gen 3, all singles at the time, is Gengar is a very fast and disruptive Pokemon. I mean, 100 base 110 speed is not that fast anymore, but it was for its time, and it gets a lot of support moves that can really throw off whatever the opponent is trying to do. I've just scratched the surface with Will-O-Wisp and Icy Wind in this set, but I feel like that pairs pretty well with a Pokemon that, with a partner that wants to set up, especially a restricted Pokemon that wants to set up Calm Mind. And so my first thought was to use Gengar to enable Terapagos, and then I thought I should probably, like I said, bring my favorite restricted Pokemon if I'm going to do the Karen thing. So we'll go with Calm Mind Lugia this time. Terra Normal so that I can still use it as a Shadow Rider Calyrex answer, even though it isn't Terapagos. And then what I think is a pretty basic, bulky Calm Mind set. The cool thing is that after Lugia terastallizes, of course its only weakness is fighting, and maybe conceivably in some situation I could switch it out to Gengar. But also, of course, while Lugia sets up with Calm Mind, enabled partly by its multiscale and its massive natural special defense stat, Gengar can hopefully burn threats with Will-O-Wisp. Maybe I get a lucky Cursed Body disable. Who knows? It could get anything. The rest of the team, honestly, is going to take longer to describe than I thought about, but it's AV Rillaboom. It's Safety Goggles, Incineroar, so I have something to throw at Amoonguss. These EVs are pure wiggly bars, no calculation whatsoever. I've gone with Sword Stance Urshifu, Rapid Strike Urshifu. The reason for that is, of course, I don't have a Tornadus or a Pelipper on this team to give it more power that way, but I do have Clefairy, which can hopefully help to enable setup from Lugia, give it another answer to troublesome fighting types, especially opposing Urshifu, maybe give it some extra healing. And since I have Clefairy playing that kind of support role, it's felt to me like it made some amount of sense to have another setup attacker on the team. Maybe I should consider like Swords Dance Rillaboom and Scarf Urshifu or something, but again, that's already more thought than I really put into this team at the building stage. But the idea is to try to win games with Gengar and Lugia. I think I'll bring Gengar every game. Maybe there will be some game where I'm really not feeling it. But that is the idea, to try to win with Gengar. And since the goal is to win with my favorites, I'm going to flip the usual end condition for these videos on its head. Usually I end a video when I lose 3 games. Instead it's going to be when I win 3. So let's see how long that takes. Starting with whatever opponent we get here. Best of one ladder is continuing to feel a little bit dead. This person has Lunala and Spectrier. So they really want to throw Ghost-type threats at their opponents. Lunala, Amoonguss, Incineroar, some kind of Urshifu, Tornadus, and Spectrier. I want to say Rapid Strike Urshifu because it's paired with the Tornadus, and they have a Firewater Grass Core that way, but I feel like I could easily be Single Strike on this team as well. In any case, I definitely think I try to set up Paranormal Lugia into this, so I do have to watch out for the Urshifu. I'm gonna should I put Destiny Bond on Gengar? Try to deal with possible Urshifu threat that way, but again, I think it's probably Rapid Strike. I'll leave Gengar Lugia. I feel like I'm going to be doing that a lot because of what this video is about. I'll bring Clefairy to help deal with the fighting type, and I mean, Incineroar looks pretty good here. a lot of this team is Incineroar food. So, okay, I'll bring that. I guess I didn't mention the Incineroar having Flare Blitz. That's also because I don't have a whole lot for Amoonguss apart from Incineroar. Okay, Spectre, Incineroar lead. I probably protect Lugia to get around a Fake Out. I don't want that breaking by multi-scale. I can Icy Wind here, or I can just try to send a Shadow Ball into Spectrier. Do you think it has a Sash? I think it is reasonably likely that it's Sash Spectrier. There's no other obvious Sash user on this team. Maybe Torn. I'm going to Icy Wind and protect. Maybe I can get off a Shadow Ball next turn. They go for Taunt into Lugia with the Spectrier, so that's actually going to be a problem. For sure. But hey, Gengar does survive the turn. Now I'm just going to send that Shadow Ball. And actually, they can't, they can't stay in, or they have to protect. Spectre switches out, protects, or gets KO'd. There's no world where it gets a taunt off into Lugia. I do have to worry about the knockoff. I don't think the Incineroar has taunt if they've led Spectre for taunt pressure. I'm going to go ahead and Calm Mind. Maybe I should Terra Normal. I'm going to go ahead and Calm Mind. Okay, yeah, they switch Amoonguss in. That takes some damage. They probably knock off Lugia here. No, they get rid of Gengar. But that gets me Clefairy for free. Or Incineroar, because I can put Clefairy to sleep. Maybe I should go Terra Grass Clefairy. But I still feel like I'm probably terrestrializing Lugia in this game. I think I'm okay with bringing Incineroar in here. I'll Fake Out into their... I'll fake out into their Incineroar slot, and I'll just send an Aeroblast into the Amoonguss. If it survives and puts Lugia to sleep, then I've messed up. But it protects, so no damage this turn, but also none against me. I get Spectre in. I'm down to just double target the Amoonguss, Flare Blitz, and Terra Normal Aeroblast. Or I could knock off the Spectre, but I feel like I have to get rid of the Amoonguss. They might try to taunt Lugia here. Yeah, they do. Okay. So it's still not... Okay, I should have knocked off the Spectre. That did a lot of damage, though. And it's maybe not the best use of my Terra Normal, but... They probably have Lunala in the back on account of that being their restricted Pokemon. Yeah, there it is. Lugia is still at full. They still haven't broken multi-scale. And... they also haven't Terra'd, have they? They probably Terra Lunala into something here. Let's just knock off the Spectre, try to get rid of it, and break Shadow Shield. Or, actually, I should do that the other way around, because I can get rid of Lunala's item as well. Even if they Terrestrialize into something that isn't afraid of knockoff, I still break the Shadow Shield, but they don't even Terrestrialize. They just go right for the Meteor Beam. Okay, so they'll probably knock out Incineroar here. So that was their play. I don't get rid of the Shadow Shield. Okay. Their Incineroar comes in. I get Clefairy now. Does Follow Me redirect Fake Out? I think it doesn't, right? Or maybe they're at the same priority level. But I think the Fake Out will go first, is what I'm saying. So I'm just going to Dazzling Gleam, try to break Shadow Shield that way. Oh, I can't protect Lugia. Huh. That's right. I'm still going to Dazzling Gleam. I'm going to go for an Aeroblast and Lunala, but I think they Fake Out Lugia. They do. Moongeist Beam doesn't pick up Clefairy, so that's good. Is it Leftovers Lunala? No. Oh, it's Power Herb. We already saw. Okay, I'm just going to go Helping Hand Aeroblast into the Lunala slot. They could protect it and do something with Incineroar. I have that option, but I have to go for the win here. That doesn't do very much damage. And they break multi-scale and get rid of my leftovers. So if that's going for the win, it's not looking great here, is it? Maybe I'll get bailed out by a crit. Even then, though, I feel like I need... Yeah, a crit doesn't do enough. I need another crit to knock it out from here. But it looks like their only attacks into Lugia are It looks like they're stuck using Meteor Beam because I have made Lugia immune to Moongeist Beam. So, I can protect here, avoid taking the Meteor Beam, and then try to get rid of the Incineroar, and I might... The Lunala might just be helpless. Let's see what Earth Power does to Incineroar. Might still claw this one back. That's not great damage. Flare Blitz does a lot. They get Trick Room up here, but... There's no but, is there? I don't take 2 more Flare Blitzes. Maybe I can crit. Terra Ghost Incineroar. Oh, but the knockoff doesn't do enough damage. I do get a crit as well. The knockoff doesn't do enough damage. I should still take another Flare Blitz. I protect to avoid the Meteor Beam. I don't think Lunala can hit Lugia in a single turn. I think Earth Power will KO Incineroar. It's safer than Aeroblast because it can't miss. After the Flare Blitz recoil, there goes the Incineroar, and we're actually going to win this one. Protect on the Meteor Beam. And might as well go for Aeroblast. Get some style points. Yeah, they forfeit. Look at that. Alright, I did it. I won with my favorites. I'm a truly skilled trainer, as you can see. Might send that one to a Discord server or 2 before the video goes up. Wow. Alright, but I said 3 wins to end it. So we keep going. Got a Kyogre team here. You know what I didn't ever think about in building this team? Wide Guard. They also have Raging Bolt. They have Grimmsnarl. They rejected open team sheets immediately. Another Incineroar and another Amoonguss. I said I was bringing Gengar to every game, but there's really not much case for Gengar here. Nonetheless, my lead is my lead. I'll bring Rillaboom to this one. And I kind of want Clefairy, but I probably have to bring Incineroar to cover their Rillaboom and Amoonguss, so I'll do that. Hopefully it's okay. If I weren't, you know, doing a bit, I'd probably bring Incineroar and Clefairy. Or I'd have some other Pokemon in this slot, but truly skilled trainers try to win with their favorites, and that's what I'm doing here. Okay, I shouldn't lay on that so thick. I don't mean to make fun of the Karen speech. I think the Karen speech is fine. You know, I don't think it's the definitive way to play Pokemon, but I think it's a perfectly good one. But yeah, it is kind of limiting here. There's not really anything I want Gengar to do this turn, so I guess I'll just switch to Incineroar and protect Lugia. Might end up using my Terra Normal just to avoid super effective hits from the Raging Bolt, especially if it keeps that boost. They knock off my Incineroar. That's okay, but it does take away a tool against the Amoonguss. I guess here I'll Parting Shot into the Raging Bolt. It would be nice to force that off the field. And I think I can just Calm Mind. Might take a lot of damage from that plus a knockoff. Yeah, that wasn't great. I also have no recovery on Lugia now. Might have needed to Terra. If I bring Rillaboom in here, then it's vulnerable to Incineroar, although they probably don't have Flare Blitz. A lot don't now. But also, if I Terrasilize Lugia now, I can get a little bit of recovery on it. You know, it's something. And the Raging Bolt isn't a Dragon type anymore, so I can threaten it with, I guess, Wood Hammer. And I'll just Terra Normal and protect Lugia. Just get the recovery. Are they going to let me have Raging Bolt? Well, okay, it doesn't one-shot, but that did a lot of damage. They Will-O-Wisp on the Incineroar. That's not great. That's not great. I guess I'll just target another Wood Hammer to the Raging Bolt slot and try to get another Calm Mind. Maybe it's greedy, but I need to make something happen here. That does not do very much damage to the Amoonguss, unsurprisingly. Parting Shot into Lugia, so I'm back at +1, but Incineroar's off the field now. So I guess that combine pays off, sort of. Didn't realize I still had that tab open. Okay, well, Lugia is now a normal type at +2 special defense. The problem is, they can protect Raging Bolt if they have it. They might have it. It's a booster energy set. Alright, let's see. U-turn and protect. What I was thinking was they could protect Raging Bolt and put Lugia to sleep. But maybe I just played myself. Oh, well, they do protect the Raging Bolt, so I guess I was right to not attack it that turn. Yeah. Although I didn't think that through and U-turned into that slot. Guess I'll U-turn into the... I'll just U-turn into it again for good measure. They can fake me out here. If they want, they fake out Rillaboom. Interesting choice. The Raging Bolt holds on at 1%. It's a Draco Meteor into Rillaboom. Well, Rillaboom was kind of toast anyway, but Grassy Glide priority might have been nice. Well, the Grassy Terrain's gone anyway. Alright, Lugia gets no more recovery for the rest of this game. So be it. I'll just knock off into the Raging Bolt slot and Earth Power into the Incineroar slot. They give me Kyogre's item. Decent damage on Incineroar. Unfortunately, Lugia's special attack boosts are now gone. I get a Moongus in rain, so I can't just Flare Blitz it so safely. And there's not really... Yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty doomed. I can't really switch Gengar in on Kyogre. Can't really leave Incineroar in either. I'll just Parting Shot into that slot, but I'm sure Incineroar drops before it accomplishes anything. And let's see if I get the mother of all crits on this Amoonguss. Oh, I do get a crit, but it doesn't KO at neutral. So they get the Spore off. Alright, I have a Gengar and a Dream. This is it. Winning with my favorite. Can I do it? How much did Origin Pulse? Did a fair bit to Lugia. Of course it could miss. Alright, I'll go for Shadow Ball into Amoonguss. And take a mandatory sleep turn with Lugia. They get Incineroar in. I think I get rid of Amoonguss here. Yeah. They get Raging Bolt in. Can't fake out Gengar. I'll try to protect Lugia. It stays asleep. But they let me have Raging Bolt. Knock off Gengar. Knocks it down to its Sash, though. So if it's faster than Kyogre... And it will be because it's max speed and they're not scarfed. It still gets an attack off. I'll Shadow Ball and Aeroblast into Kyogre. It protects. Okay, yeah, probably should have read that. Well, this was a tough one. Anyway. Let's go for that Aeroblast again now. But yeah, clawing this one back was always going to be hard. I got reasonably close, though. They're protecting. Trying to wear my damage down. Makes sense. Smart to play it out safely. They're also draining my Aeroblast PP. I guess here they'll protect Kyogre, so I'll target an Earth Power into Incineroar. I can knock it out with a crit, actually. But I'm wrong, they don't protect Kyogre, but we survived the Ice Beam. One more attack into Kyogre. And it crits, but it doesn't KO. Well, almost pulled that one back. Close games so far. I like it. Still 2 wins away from finishing the video. Actually, I do have a hard cutoff in about 50 minutes, but that's 5-0, so I really hope it won't take that long. Terapagos, Smeargle, Tornadus, Landorus. Single Strike Urshifu, I'm going to guess. Well, no, it could definitely be Rapid Strike on this team. We'll see. And Wellspring Mask, Ogerpon. Maybe I should use Wellspring. No. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Wellspring Mask, Ogerpon was the Water type call for my team. But anyway. I mean, am I just gonna lead Gengar, Lugia into everything? Is that? No, I think I can bring Gengar in the back. I think I'm gonna lead Clefairy, Lugia. I can bring Gengar in the back. I said I'm bringing it to every game, but that was all I specified. Safety Goggles and Incineroar into the Smeargle might be reasonable. On the other hand, I kind of think I want to bring one of my 2 physical attackers into, you know, Terapagos and the Ogerpon. I'll bring Rillaboom. It feels a little safer here than Urshifu. Maybe I'll be unhappy that I don't get off a close combat into this, because I didn't bring my close combat guy, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, the Smeargle is going to probably go for Fake Out, and my guess is it's into Lugia, so I'll protect that and Dazzling Gleam to try to break Terra Shell. We'll see if the Terapagos has leftovers, unless Clefairy gets faked out for some reason. Decorate. Okay, I just went right for that turn 1, but I think that's going to pay off for them, because I already am not sure how I beat this Terapagos. And of course it does have leftovers. Obviously, when I saw the Calm Mind, I knew it was going to have leftovers. So we don't even really break the Terra Shell successfully. I'll follow me for what good it does and try to Calm Mind up alongside this. They're going straight for the spread. Terra Starstorm. They do decorate my Clefairy, which is a pretty funny interaction. And then just obliterate it with stored power. What do I do here? You know what? Maybe I do need Destiny Bond on Gengar. It's tricky though with the Focus Sash, but in this position I could just go for something else this turn and then Destiny Bond on the next turn. I can bring Rillaboom in. But they can just they can just follow me. But I guess at least I can make them do that. Woodhammer and Calm Mind. If they follow me, then at least they don't decorate. Oh, no. Okay. Alright. Never mind. They didn't need that to just delete AV Rillaboom. Okay. You know what? I don't know if I've played... I know Smeargle Terapagos is a thing. I don't know if I've played it before now, and I think that's showing. Just try to get a lucky Aeroblast crit, I guess. That would be nice right now. Go Torn. So the Icy Wind might kind of be helpful here. They can try to get Tailwind up next turn. They go for Terra Starstorm. It actually doesn't do very much to Lugia, although of course that was my multi-scale turn. But hey, as long as I'm not Terrastellized, I'm not weak to it. Let's try this again. There's the Tailwind. But we get another Icy Wind off. Aeroblast doesn't crit, but that Terapagos is starting to get a little low, and we just disabled Terra Starstorm. Amazing. And Lugia is at +2 special defense and resists stored power. Okay, they protect and taunt. That's fine. I'm attacking at this point. That's a dead turn for them. I just get a little bit of recovery. Well, they do too. In fact, they get more. But I'm just going to keep looking for that Aeroblast crit. If anyone watching this doesn't know, Aeroblast has a boosted crit rate. I'm not just hoping to be the luckiest player in the world, although that would be nice right now, because we don't take another stored power. They can just follow me in stored power here, but if they do that, or they could do that. Okay, yeah, there was no way to win at that point. I don't think Gengar needs Protect. Do I want Destiny Bond? Is Magic Coat still in the game? I don't think it is. Gengar doesn't learn it for sure. For sure, Gengar definitely doesn't learn it, even if it is still in the game. It gets Acid Spray. That could be fun with Lugia, but I think I want Destiny Bond. Destiny Bond is the kind of move that, you know, was relatively exclusive in the early generations and made me love Gengar for learning it. So we're doubling down on the win-win with my favorites thing here. Alright, another Kyogre team. This one's got Iron Jugulus. what's this thing called? Archaludon. Therian form Landorus. And then they have Rillaboom and Indeedee. Interesting. The Indeedee feels like kind of out of place here. Kind of like an odd pick. Well. So what can they do here? They can, if they lead Kyogre Jugulus, they can protect Tailwind, Blast Me. Rillaboom shuts that down relatively well. Although, like a Hurricane from the Jugulus is a problem. Do I just lead Rillaboom Lugia? That doesn't answer some of their other modes, but I don't know what this is going to do to Lugia, really. This could be a problem if it boosts, I guess, but I'll bring Gengar under Shifu, and we'll figure it out. Hopefully. Hopefully your Shifu covers for the Landorus and the Archaludon to an extent. I don't know what the Indeedee is here to do. I don't know why someone's watching. Okay. It is Jugulus Kyogre lead, and of course it's Booster Energy Jugulus. I feel like my safest play is like fake out Jugulus and Calm Mind. That feels pretty good, and then I can, if they let me, I can go for Grassy Glide into Kyogre next turn. Of course Kyogre switches out. Probably should have seen that coming. If I get a Calm Mind up here, which is good. They probably have Snarl in the Jugulus, right? There's not really anything I want to switch in on it. I could just Wood Hammer it. Risk taking a Hurricane on Rillaboom, sure, but hey, that certainly gives me some initiative. What if I just double target the Jugulus right now? It does go for Snarl. There's that Aeroblast crit that I wasn't getting earlier. I'll get rid of the Jugulus, which, looking things over, was actually a giant offensive threat to my team. Unfortunately, it does break my multi-scale, and then I take a big Electro Shot. So that's a problem. I think I'm down to just try to Wood Hammer the Kyogre here. We'll see if they let me, and I'll protect Lugia. And then next turn, probably, I don't know what I do, but it probably involves Terra Normal. Terra Normal Aeroblast Kyogre, maybe? But I am kind of letting the Archaludon accumulate boosts. Terra Normal isn't going to save me forever. But my opponent just has so many offensive threats, I feel like I always have to be dealing with something. What if I switch to Gengar and Terra Normal Aeroblast Kyogre, hopefully knock it out. Oh, well, never mind. I might try to go for a Destiny Bond play into the Archaludon. I'm running out of other options here. Quickly. I can't even really safely Shadow Ball the Archaludon because they can just follow me. Oh, this is bad. I don't see how I win this one. Archaludon kind of just counters my team, doesn't it? To an extent. I'm just gonna YOLO it, double target the Archaludon, and hope they don't do that. Yeah, well, I didn't feel like I had another play. At least here I get Urshifu in to do what? I don't know. Close combat, I guess, and then drop to, hey, it's not raining. Okay, you know what? They can't, this turn, they can't switch Kyogre in, use Follow Me, and use Electro Shot all in the same turn. They only get 3 actions. So I'm just gonna Icy Wind to cover my bases and target a close combat into Archaludon. There's the Follow Me. Get rid of the Indeedee. What does Archaludon do? Knocks my Urshifu out instantly with Draco Meteor. Okay. Oh, I still have Rillaboom. I forgot that I switched it out. Can I still save this? Fake out Kyogre, Shadow Ball, or Chaladon. I don't think Shadow Ball is just gonna knock it out though, is it? But if I can get rid of our Chaladon somehow, maybe by baiting it into a Destiny Bond, then Rillaboom can beat Kyogre, surely. This will break my Sash. I know, well, it's Grass-type Kyogre is the thing. I can't just... How much did Woodhammer do earlier? 46, so it's probably out of range. I'm going to Destiny Bond. I'm going to target a U-turn into Kyogre. But I think what's going to happen is Kyogre will knock Gengar out. It will take the Destiny Bond, and then I lose the 1v1 to our Chaladon. But I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope that somehow Gengar removes our Chaladon, and that's enough. Seems like too much to ask. Yeah. Too much to ask. Okay. On to the next one. I don't know why I closed the team builder there. I just saw a thing and closed it. Another person with 2 ghost types. That might be more my speed here. Let's see what I can do with these 2 again. I'll bring Rillaboom. I guess the Giraffe is a problem, but I think I still bring Rillaboom. And I'll bring Urshifu. Maybe it's weird to not bring Incineroar into the Shadow Rider, but hey, hopefully Terranormal Lugia can come through here. Let's just send a Shadow Ball into the Basculegion slot and go Terranormal Calm Mind. They're getting rid of Gengar immediately. So, no Shadow Ball. I do disable both of their attacks, though. Of course, the Terranormal is a little bit less impressive when they can't use Astral Barrage anyway. But I get Rillaboom in here. I'll just send a Woodhammer into the Basculegion slot, and I'll go for another... Oh, they forfeited immediately. Well, I'm counting that as a win. Is this really not playable? What did you have at the back? What happened? They must not have brought the TU, huh? It must have been like one of the... maybe like the Basculegion was choice locked and they knew one of these would drop immediately. And who knows what this has, but that was a quick forfeit. These battles have been all over the place. Which goes to show how much fun it is to just mess around with your favorite Pokemon, huh? Okay, Grimmsnarl. Incineroar, Rillaboom, Raging Bolt, Kyogre, Amoonguss. I feel like this is every team we've seen so far except the ones with double ghosts. Another Amoonguss. Another Raging Bolt. Let's just lead with my guys and see what happens. And I'll bring Rillaboom and Incineroar. That feels like my most solid mode. And I can Icy Wind, or I can just send a Shadow Ball into Raging Bolt. Icy Wind. And Calm Mind. They go Light Screen immediately. Makes sense. And they don't break my multi-scale, they break my Focus Sash instead. Disable Thunderbolt. They can easily Thunderclap Gengar here, so to play around that, I'm just going to target a Will-O-Wisp into the Grimmsnarl. Maybe it'll come in handy later. They try to Thunder Wave Lugia, they miss. But there's not much stopping them from trying that again. They didn't go for Thunderclap. They break my multi-scale with Volt Switch. Okay. Okay. But that means I still have Gengar, and I can just like Shadow Ball, Aero Blast the Kyogre. I know the light screen is going to reduce the damage, but yeah, that Shadow Ball doesn't do well. It's Calm Mind Kyogre. I don't think I've seen that in this format before. But there are a couple things I have here. I'm just going to send a Destiny Bond and see if it works. If not, then I've revealed I have it, but oh well. Probably switch to Rillaboom next turn. And I can try to crit the Kyogre. You knew that was coming. Okay, they go for Calm Mind again. No crit. Spirit Break into Lugia, that's going to be a problem. And yeah, they know about the Destiny Bond now. Okay, well now I think I switch to Rillaboom. Do I just Calm Mind up to +6 special defense? If they'll let me. And play around the Spirit Break as long as I can. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. Well, I do get back to +2 here. They have Fake Out pressure. I'm just going to U-turn into Kyogre. They all seem to be Terra Grass these days. They can Fake Out Rillaboom if they want. I'll protect Lugia. Or I won't. Worth a shot. But okay, at least Lugia doesn't take much damage. And I do get the U-turn damage onto Kyogre. And here, you know what I can do? I can bring Gengar back in. Threaten Destiny Bond. And in fact, I will click Destiny Bond. They might hesitate to attack, except maybe with Ice Beam. There's that. Well, here I guess is where I Terra Normal and turn off the Ice weakness. And Aeroblast now is super effective and has a boosted crit rate. Yeah, they do go Ice Beam. The Destiny Bond wasn't that cool a play in the end, and there goes my recovery, except that I do now get Grassy Terrain recovery. So I guess that's something. Swap back to Rillaboom here and protect. Or not. And I lose Lugia. And it doesn't look good, but you know what I can do? They have multiple ways to play around this, but hey, maybe they won't play around it. You never know. No, they do. I just keep falling behind and having to make plays. I don't even want to play this one out. I'm just going to forfeit and move on to the next one. That was just going to be a grind, and it looked pretty doomed. I've got a Miraidon team this time. Grimmsnarl, Farigiraf, some kind of Urshifu, Hearthflame Mask Ogerpon. Wow, I got a lot of power here. Miraidon and Iron Hands. At face value, Miraidon Iron Hands is pretty hard for Lugia to deal with, but bring Gengar, get off like Icy Wind and Will-O-Wisp, bring Rillaboom to change the terrain, and then I kind of like Clefairy here, but I think I prefer Incineroar to intimidate the Ogerpon. Urshifu is also kind of reasonable here, but I'll bring Incineroar. Grimmsnarl and Miraidon lead. I can just Shadow Ball the Miraidon slot, try to get some damage on it. And I'm just gonna... Am I gonna Terra Normal immediately, or am I gonna rely on Multiscale to keep Lugia alive this turn? Miraidon hits so hard, I'm gonna Terra Normal immediately. Calm Mind. Another Thunder Wave Grimmsnarl. I feel like nobody was using that early this generation. And now they're everywhere. But hey, if the Miraidon is choice locked, it has a bit of a problem now after that Cursed Body. That's something. In fact, Icy Wind. See if the Miraidon switches out, and honestly, I'll just throw off an Aeroblast into the Miraidon slot. Maybe I can catch Ogerpon on the switch, or this. paralyzed both of my stuff, but not much I can do about that with this team. At least not without bringing Clefairy. Oh yeah, I feel like nobody was running speed control on Grimmsnarl early in Gen 9. And now I keep running into them tonight specifically. I'm sure there have been meta developments in between that explain that, but Psychic Noise. That wasn't going to work on... Oh, wait, no, I'm confusing Psychic Noise with Synchro Noise. Synchro Noise only works on Pokemon of the same type. Psychic Noise is just a Psychic type attack. It just didn't work on Incineroar because Incineroar is a Dark type. Okay, got it. We're all caught up now. Knock off into the Farigiraf slot, and I see no reason not to keep Calm Minding. Ooh, well, that's dangerous. That could be a reason not to keep Calm Minding. Got rid of its Assault Vest. They get rid of one of my boosts, but not my multi-scale. I'm gonna go for a Parting Shot into Iron Hands and protect Lugia. This time I don't get fully paralyzed on a Protect, so that's nice. I can get Rillaboom in. Change the terrain. Of course, they can get Miraidon back in. But the Iron Hands is being faster than the Grimmsnarl is big. That means it's going to Drain Punch into Multiscale. And I can just Wood Hammer and Earth Power into that slot. They can go to Farigiraf, that's fine. Well, it does allow Miraidon back in. That's the downside of attacking with Rillaboom there instead of pivoting it right back out. And the Spirit Break knocks Lugia down to neutral special attack. However, still +2 special defense, and with the double recovery, back up in multi-scale territory. And not weak to electric. Is weak to fighting. If they fake out, then they don't use Drain Punch. They can only use one. So I feel pretty safe to just Wood Hammer and Earth Power again. Oh, it's Terra Grass. Okay, maybe I should have covered for that with the Aeroblast. Huh. Okay, the Drain Punch doesn't do too much in multi-scale, but they broke the multi-scale. I think I can get it back up if I successfully protect this turn, and I'll try to U-turn on the Iron Hands. Get Incineroar in. I do get the protect. There's the U-turn. I get Incineroar in. Does Lugia get back up to full? Surely yes. Yeah, of course. Easily. And now I can just Flare Blitz, Aeroblast. I don't want this Iron Hands on the field anymore. And if they go Miraidon, I mean, it's going to take some damage from this, isn't it? I know it resists both, but... Oh, okay. Missing Aeroblast is a bit of a problem there. And Lugia has officially hit -1 special attack. I guess I'll go back to Rillaboom. Get the terrain on my side. Calm Mind. Feels reasonably safe here. Volt Switch doesn't do too much to Rillaboom in the grassy terrain. Get Iron Hands back in. Spirit Break is a problem, but at least it's not keeping me out of multi-scale territory. And I'm just gonna U-turn and Aeroblast and hope for a crit. You know how this one is. Hey, you want to use an unusual Pokemon, you play to what makes that Pokemon unique, right? Lugia's unique tech is Aeroblast. And what does Aeroblast do? It gets critical hits. As we're about to demonstrate it on this Grimmsnarl. Nope. But that is what that move does. I'll go for a knockoff into the Miraidon slot. If they just switch to Iron Hands, then that's kind of a waste. But yeah, well. But at least I get another Calm Mind here. The Spirit Breaks are obviously out. Oh, well, okay. I don't get another Calm Mind. The Spirit Breaks are obviously outpacing my that's unfortunate. My special attack boosts, but the special defense boosts are still good. Oh, look at that burn. All those crits I didn't get, but the clutch burn. That feels like justice to me. Just try to get rid of this Iron Hands. Gone. Yeah, and losing Incineroar, trading Incineroar for Iron Hands is absolutely fine. Because Rillaboom and Lugia should be able to clean up. Really, just Rillaboom should be able to clean up from here. I get terrain control. Let's go right for a Wood Hammer. I'm just going to go Calm Mind on Lugia. Lugia can afford to sit back and take it slow while Rillaboom tries to win the game. I think. Breakthrough. No! Okay, well, Rillaboom should take another Dazzling Gleam just fine, but I will go for an Earth Power into Miraidon as well here. Doesn't do very much. The Lugia has taken some Spirit Break drops for sure, but okay, Miraidon is gone. I might as well slow this down myself and switch to Gengar, stall out some Reflect. And, I mean, they still have 15 Spirit Breaks, that's a lot, but it doesn't do very much damage, especially when Lugia is getting Leftovers and Grassy Terrain Recovery. And I feel like I can just take this slow, set up. I'll go for an Icy Wind. Actually, no, I'll go for a Will-O-Wisp. That chip damage would be awesome, but I don't get it. It's a miss. Pretty hacksy game, hasn't it been? I haven't really been keeping track. But now I'll just try to fake out the Grimmsnarl, and I'll just keep clicking Calm Mind. Might as well. Doesn't matter. And now let's go for, well, okay, I did just turn off my own Grassy Terrain boost. That's unfortunate, but we'll just double target the Grimmsnarl here. There's a crit on the Aeroblast. It still doesn't do that much, but we should be able to get rid of it here if both of my Pokemon can move. That was a pretty big if, huh? We knock it down to 1%, but 100% Lugia, 1% Grimmsnarl. It is still possible to lose this, but if it happens, I think I'm quitting Pokemon forever. Yeah, exactly. There we go. There we go. 3 wins with my favorite Pokemon and my favorite restricted Pokemon. Don't let anyone tell you it can't be done. Don't let your dreams be memes. And I'll use someone else's team that they put more thought into next time.